hello. Welcome. Welcome to the Mermaid Tavern. How you doing? Cheers. Slàinte mhath. Yaki da. Skål. Salute. Bottoms up. The Boys of Dungeon Lane. The Boys of Dungeon Lane. New Paul McCartney album. It's just such a great album, and I've just been listening to it for the... Do you know, I've lost count now. Probably 5, maybe 6 times, certainly 5, since it's been out. And time of recording this, it's just the almost a week since it came out. Almost a week. It will be tomorrow. This is not. I'm not a reviewer. I just like to talk about it and see what you think, and talk about some of the songs. I'm not really going to talk about the songs I don't think that don't affect me as much as the others. But there's nothing on here which isn't good. They're all good songs. They're all really good songs. And do you know what? I always think, how dare I try and judge someone like Paul McCartney? I'm not. I couldn't never be a reviewer, And I'm not casting aspersions on any of you that do. But I'm not. You know what you like, don't you? You know what you like. You know what songs affect you, move you, make you joyful more than others. And I just wanted to talk about some of the songs on this album that really make me really happy, and have actually been making me want to put it on to listen to them. And it's been a long time since I've done that with a Paul album. I think I probably, just in case you haven't seen me before, and thank you if you are tuning in for the first time to the Mermaid Tavern. I'm a huge Beatles fan, and really wasn't a great Paul fan in the 70s when I was discovering the Beatles. I wasn't a big Paul Wings kind of fan, and I think that influenced me for a long time afterwards with Paul. I did like a lot of his stuff. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of stuff I did like on his solo stuff in the 70s. Obviously loved all of his Beatles stuff, and but he was probably behind Lennon and to some extent behind George in some of my likings in when I first got into the solo Beatles, and that did inevitably influence me a bit later on. And I didn't really want to go actively looking. I did listen to Paul's solo stuff, but first time round, it didn't really didn't really affect me in a big way. But I've kind of rediscovered Paul a lot more in the last few years, and I've been looking at albums in a new way. And don't get me wrong, please don't get me wrong. I love Paul. He's a musical god, and but to have an album like this, it kind of makes me want to go back over albums again. Like I did talk about earlier this year, Flaming Pie. This kind of makes me want to go back and revisit albums, like even recent albums like Egypt Station and even McCartney 3. Things that I wasn't terribly stuck on when I heard them. New. I wasn't stuck on that when I heard it. I didn't give it enough listens. It just made me think I've got to go back and look at some of these things, because I think this is a general consensus. What I can hear is this is his strongest album in years. What do you think? Some of the great... I'll tell you what my favourite track on here is, and it's taken some time for it to get to be there's 6 tracks on here out of the 14 that really stand out. But as I say, all of these songs are good, and I could listen to them all the time without passing them over. I could just let the album play, and that's not happened in the past. There've been some tracks I want to listen to rather than others, But out of all the tracks, it has changed. Obviously we all heard "Days We Left Behind" from the very beginning. That was the track we all heard, of course, months ago before this album came out last Friday, and it was the top, and then it shifted around. But I'll tell you, my new favourite song on here is "Salesman Saint." I absolutely adore this song. I just can't get out I can't get it out of my head. A lot of the refrains on that song. It's just such a lovely song, isn't it? It's just such a strong song. It's a really moving song about Paul's parents and what they went through. It's got almost like a military beat to it. Father was a salesman. My mother was a saint. Didn't. Working every given minute to make enough to pay the rent. They couldn't take any more. But they had to carry on. I love it. I really do. It's only in the last couple of listens has it elevated itself to my favourite song in this. And then, obviously we all heard Days We Left Behind from the very beginning, didn't we? And what a great, strong, wonderful song that is, isn't it? It's just, it makes me cry, actually. When I first heard it, it made me cry. Nothing ever stays, nothing comes to mind. No one can erase the days we left behind. Wonderful. Do you remember the when it was announced in March and they had on Google Maps, you could go down there, little boy stealing the sign, and it's such a wonderfully beautiful, evocative song from Paul's past. This. I really love Mountaintop. I think Mountaintop is just an amazing song. Take me to the mountaintop. Yeah, so lovely, memorable refrain, isn't it? All these story songs about a girl tripping on magic mushrooms at a festival, and very psychedelic. It's got the sort of recorder elements, a bit reminiscent of Fool on the Hill, isn't it? Lovely sort of frenzy of sound in it. It's really, I think you can hear an American woman's voice at the end. Is that Nancy? But love it. I really love Mountaintop. So yeah, and also Life Can Be Hard. Life Can Be Hard is a gorgeous song. Lovely little, great falsetto Paul's doing in that. Lovely little intro. Lovely little, singing it kind of that easy old style. He's singing it, really lovely old easy style, sort of cafe. It's such a lovely, lovely song. It's lovely to. Do you know what? It's lovely to follow the lyrics. I haven't done that for years with an album. Everyone says you can't read Paul's lyrics here, but I can read them. The most difficult to read lyrics are the ones on that song Down South. Funny enough, all the others I can read perfectly well. And also love We Too. That's the song that closes side one, isn't it? We Too. Great beginning. I wanna live for love. So many people do. Reminds me of something else. There's a couple of songs that remind me of something else, and but they're very memorable, all of them. And of course, you can't not put into the mix "Home to Us." On the face of it, it's pretty corny, isn't it? But it's just to have a song with Paul and Ringo on there is so emotive, isn't it? With those two singing this, it's not on the paper. It's not the greatest of songs, really, is it? It's the sort of song Paul knocks out. There's a few songs on here which I haven't mentioned, which are great, but the sort of songs that Paul can just effortlessly put out and has done before on all albums, really. But they've never really stood out, and we've always said, "Oh, when you're going to write another?" Like I've said before, when's he going to write another Eleanor Rigby? When's he going to write another Maybe I'm Amazed or something great like that? It's always been a sort of judgment on Paul, isn't it, with some people, and I think all of us to some extent. But it's a great little rocker, isn't it? It's a great little thumping rocker, and some of the backing vocals on it are very, to me, a bit reminiscent of ELO. You can hear that, sort of ELO-y sort of sound to it. So it's almost like Jeff Lynne was producing it, though of course he didn't. It's almost like if Paul and Ringo had been in the Wilburys, this could have been their song. And to be honest with you, when I first heard it, I was a bit, yeah, I was a bit, oh no, I was a bit, oh, because that was put out, wasn't it, a few weeks ago too? That was put out before the album came out. I was a bit, oh, but this has really grown on me, and it gets you, doesn't it, to have those two? And it's actually it's a pleasant song. It's a pleasant song. I mean, I don't think it's anywhere as good as I don't think it's anywhere as good as Salesman's Saint, Days We Left Behind, Mountaintop, Life Could Be Hard, or We Too. I'll tell you another song which has actually just grown on me, maybe in the last listen, actually, and I kind of dismissed it a bit, First Star of the Night. And I'm thinking, no, this is a song that, again, one of these songs that Paul can write effortlessly, but it's not terribly great. Nice little riff, very easy, pleasant on the ear. But it's simply beautiful, isn't it? It's a beautiful song, really. First Star of the Night. Just lovely and evocative song that gets you. I think I'm going to have to put that here. Really, I'm going to mention it. As I say, the ones I haven't mentioned are the ones that don't really excite me as much. I'd never really intended this to be a review. I just wanted to talk about, what do you think? I mean, what's your favourite song on the album? My favourite song probably was, it probably was Days We Left Behind, but then it has become Salesman's Saint in the last few days. And as I say, I really do love Life Can Be Hard. I really do love it. It's and a mountain take me to, but I'm going to stick with what I've said. We Too, yeah. But there's really not a bad song on this album. It's a wonderful, memorable Paul McCartney album. I think it's going to be remembered for many years, and I don't think this is going to be Paul's last album. I'm a bit tired of hearing people speculate, and I know, we all know he's 84 in a few weeks' time. I'm a bit, and it does take a good 5 or 6 years to make an album like this. So, it might not necessarily. I don't think this is going to be Paul's last album. I think he's got another album in him. I do. And he might stop touring. He might stop doing these big tours. We might not see him in big stadiums again, or if we do, it'll be the last time we see him in stadiums. He might just do small, like the Fonda Theatre, little talking about. You're going to see him at the Roundhouse next Wednesday. He's not playing, as I understand it. It's just going to be interviewed about the new album. I think it's all seating. The ticket. Do you know what I've heard? Not had anybody else on YouTube refer to this, but obviously everybody got the everybody who was in touch with Paul's mailing list got the notification that tickets were going on sale. When did they go on sale? Yesterday morning, Wednesday morning, wasn't it? 10 a.m. And they all just like sold out like that, didn't they? And I was trying to get a couple, but I just got one. And Alan, you got one, didn't you too? Just got one, even. And you got a CD, even though you didn't want a CD. Rough Trade have been involved with the organisation of it, and there's CDs, and so I've got a CD, even though I didn't want one. But you were scared to sort of, no, I don't want that, because you'd lose the opportunity of the ticket. It's upstairs. Are you going to be there? Are you going to be at the Roundhouse next Monday, next Wednesday? Is that the 10th? Is that the 10th? I think it is the 10th, isn't it? So I'll see you there. I might see you there. It's about, what is it? At least maybe 1,400 people seated can go in there. More. Paul has played there before, though, hasn't he? He's done Electric Proms there. Quite a number of years ago now. There's a bit on YouTube of him playing at the Roundhouse. I think it's too much to expect that he'll get his guitar out and play here. It'd be nice. It'd be a bit of a shame if he didn't have a guitar with him, and he might do a little bit of a. I hope they've got a good interview. I hope they've got somebody good. Sometimes some of these things I've seen, I've been let down by somebody who's a bad interviewer, who's a really cringy. But it obviously just nice to have Paul on stage, nobody else. and just talking to you and just playing a few. That would be actually perfect. Paul just with his acoustic guitar, just telling some of these stories behind the songs again and just playing bits of them. Do you know what? That would be the perfect evening. We don't need an interviewer. We don't need you. Go away, interviewer. Vernon Kay, whoever it is, we don't need you. But it's going to be good, I think. I think it'd be lovely just to see Paul and a bit special, I think. Anyway, that's all I've got to say on that one. I just bought so far just this one copy of this album, the gatefold edition, on quite nice heavyweight vinyl. But I have succumbed to buy one more version of it, the blue splatter version, the blue splatter version. Yeah, I know, I did succumb. It is sold out, but somebody's sending it me, and it's quite. I haven't got to have to pay very much for it actually at all, so it's quite nice. Yeah, so I'm getting that coming, the blue splatter version of it too. But I'm not getting any others. You know, you go down the old coloured vinyl route, don't you? And you sort of, you know, I've got enough records really to go by collecting any more. But you know what? It's always a pleasure to have a wonderful album, and in a way, listening to Paul that is making me rediscover the pleasure of not just listening to a great McCartney album, but listening to albums on vinyl through my headphones and looking through the wonderful lyric book and just the joy of vinyl again, you know? Yeah, I'm getting a CD. It's the first CD I've had in years. On the shelf as a little thing to see in the background here. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for spending some time with me. Do please, if you like what you've heard me say, like it, because it does make a difference, and check out my other content, and subscribe if you will, if you liked any of this, made it resonated with you. And only remains for me to say thank you very much for spending time with me. Will I see you again? I sincerely hope I will. Right, Paul. Yay. Cheers.